No knockout punches delivered. Round one of the presidential debate was, by most accounts, well, by everyone's account, rather flat. Neither guy said anything. Joining us this morning to break it all down and look ahead, syndicated political analyst and CBS-2 blogger Steve Adubato, and political columnist and morning radio host of WWRL, looking very fly this morning, Errol Lewis. Good morning, guys.
Fly. Go ahead.
Hey, okay, don't look at him, all right?
I'll be John McCain.
Don't look
at me. I won't look at you.
All right. Okay. What is it? You know, John McCain's a regular guy. Who's gotten in his camp and said to do all of these things?
Well, first of all, I'm surprised that McCain showed up at the campaign. I will look at you, Errol, because it would be awkward if I didn't. The reality is he said, I'm going to Washington. I'm going to fix this $700 billion bailout. I'm going to move Congress. I'm going to suspend the campaign. He doesn't do that, so I don't know what he was doing at the debate. He threw a Hail Mary pass that was incomplete, decided to ask for overtime and play again, didn't get pressed on it. That's all a sidebar story, but the reality is it looked to me like John McCain wasn't prepared for this debate, not only in terms of substance, but the fact that he really was so uncomfortable with himself and the format that when Barack Obama said, John, about the war and whatever he was talking about, he was so uncomfortable he wouldn't look at him. Body language matters, substance matters, issues matter, but the way you comport yourself matters as well.
Yeah, I mean, it's key that, well, it reminds me that he kept asking for town hall meetings,
right.
And this showed why. He's not comfortable with it. He doesn't want to engage with his adversary. He doesn't even want to engage with the moderator. He wants to engage with people, and yet I think he seemed to be oblivious to what the CBS poll, instant poll, showed after the fact, which was that among undecided voters, the key constituency that both of them are going after, they, by a large margin, decided that he was angry, that he seemed to be hostile, and 20+% had a worse opinion of McCain than before the debate started.
You know, Errol and Steve, it's terrible when we talk about these nonverbal things, the personality things, but let's face it, we're electing someone who will be in our living rooms for 4 years. Yes, we want someone who's smart. Yes, we want someone who knows the issues, but we have to be comfortable with that person. If this person seems cranky and uncomfortable with himself, it doesn't work. And I'll tell you what, the best one-liner that I saw in the debate, and I heard in the debate, was an Obama turned, I want to get this right, I've got my own notes. He turned to McCain and he said, you know, John, you act like the war started in 2007. It started 2003. You said we'd be out of there right away. You said we'd find the weapons of mass destruction, and you were wrong. He had no comeback. It did start in 2003. And McCain is vulnerable on that issue. Yeah,
well, no, he's vulnerable on a number of things. I mean, throughout this phase of the campaign, he's been trying desperately to get distance between himself and the Bush administration. It's a very unpopular administration. He doesn't feel that he should have to pay for their sins. He wasn't, you know, he's got to get distance from him. So he's in a very uncomfortable place. He's trying to be the standard bearer of a party whose brand has been badly tarnished. He's trying to claim that as whenever he says maverick, what he's trying to say is, I'm not part of the Bush administration. I'm not part of the unpopular Republicans that lost a majority 2 years ago. You know, he's only got 5 weeks to make that case.
Well, let me ask you both a real quick question. How do you stage a debate anymore where anything gets said? Because very little gets said. There's no debate like the Tories and the Whigs on the floor where they start yelling at you. I'd almost rather see that because maybe we'd find out where they stood.
But I'll tell you something, Steve. To PBS's credit here, they gave the opportunity for the candidates to engage each other. They chose not to engage each other.
Jim even tried to get them.
Jim actually, he said, look at the other guy. Talk to the other guy.
Right, exactly.
And I'll tell you what, one area, and I don't want to give Barack Obama, you know, a free ride here. Neither Barack Obama nor McCain could say one area that they would cut with this $700 billion bailout. You can't give tax breaks, and Obama's not being honest about that. You can't give tax break with that $700 billion bailout. Nothing's going to be given up. Something's got to give.
Yeah, I mean, look, when they move past foreign policy and back into the economy, when they get to their next debate,
right.
I think we're going to start to see a little bit more substance, and they're obviously going to both adjust from what they've seen this time. That's been the history of presidential debates. You know that you know they'll compensate in some way. They'll try not to do the things that all of their advisors and all of us are telling them went wrong for them. And in Obama's case, that will include urging him not to constantly agree with his adversary. You know, I mean, 6 times he said, John's right, John's right, John's right. And after a while, you start to say, well, are you, you know, why don't you just join his team?
Where's he wrong?
Yeah, exactly.
He was wrong on Iraq. They have to be more aggressive. As long as they don't wear earth tones, which you remember Al Gore did, and it was painful.
Yes.
I couldn't survive the earth tone.
What did Sinatra say? No man should own a brown suit.
He did say that.
No man should own that.
And brown shoes. See, you guys get away with brown shoes. I can't.
I don't even wear regular shoes.
All right. I noticed. We're not talking about that.
All right. Gentlemen, as always, thank you. Pleasure.
You.
This is the most fun part of the weekend. CBS 2, your headquarters for complete coverage of Campaign 08. You can get updates anytime on our website, WCBS WCBS-TV.com.